On Wednesday, Democratic gubernatorial candidate Beto took aim at his opponent, Texas Governor Greg Abbott. O'Rourke, who has held several campaign events throughout the state ahead of the November election, hammered Abbott for not visiting local communities. O'Rourke said, quote, "He's got your votes in the bank, so he thinks. So why in the world would he waste the time and bother to show up and meet with you?" O'Rourke sent a message to Republican voters who voted for Abbott in the past and may be considering voting for him again. O'Rourke admitted that he does not believe the governor has malicious intent, saying, quote, "I don't for a second think that Greg Abbott wakes up in the morning wanting kids to be shot in their classrooms." However, O'Rourke says it is clear now that Abbott has been unable to create necessary change in Texas and cannot get the job done.
Here's the thing. Our governor and the majority in the legislature, our current state representative and member of Congress, they're sleeping on this community. And not just those of you who might vote for a Democrat in this next election, but those folks out there. I mean, do you think they have seen Greg Abbott in a room like this where we can freely gather and everyone's welcome inside the door? You think he knows what the concerns, the interests, the hopes, the dreams, the aspirations, the ambitions of this community are? He's got your votes in the bank, so he thinks. So why in the world would he waste the time and bother to show up and meet with you eyeball to eyeball, face to face, human to human, just like we are choosing to gather right here at this moment? This is what upset victories are born of. Those giants who sleep on the people, who put them into that position of power and public trust to begin with. You begin taking people for granted, especially here in Texas, and that spells the end of your time in that position. And the start of something truly extraordinary in the state of Texas. And I wanted to share a really quick, brief message at the outset that I would ask you to consider sharing with the Republicans and the Abbott supporters in your lives. Maybe even these people out on the street corner right now. The reason that you're here, Mary Lou, I thought just said it perfectly. You're here because you care. I'd also argue, and hear me out, indulge me in this if you feel differently than I do. I bet you they care as well. And I bet you they want their kids to be okay. I bet you that they want their lives to be better. I bet you they want to be respected and treated with the dignity that they deserve as human beings. And here's a message I want to give them, because I bet you they voted for Abbott last time. And they may be planning to vote for him again. And some of you may have voted for Abbott last time. No. But I thought it was worth saying. No way. I don't for a second think that Greg Abbott wakes up in the morning wanting kids to be shot in their classroom, or for this state to lead the nation in the number of school shootings, or for gun violence to be the leading cause of death for children and teenagers. All those things are true since he's been governor. I don't think he wakes up wanting Child Protective Services to be the worst run foster care program in the United States of America, bar none. 32,000 kids in that system, and despite the fact that we're the 9th largest economy on the planet, tonight, in some CPS offices, those kids will be sleeping in the hallways. They'll be lying under the desks, atop the tables. We will not allow some same-sex couples to be able to adopt a child out of that system into their loving home, because though it's not okay, it's perfectly legal in Greg Abbott's Texas to deny adoption simply based on sexual orientation. And even worse, 100 children, 100 innocent little babies have lost their lives in that CPS system just since the year of our Lord, 2020. This is something he's been warned about day in, day out, year in, year out. It has only gotten worse on his watch. And yet, I cannot believe that he wakes up wanting this to be the outcome. The teachers who are leaving the profession by the thousands, leaving kids without a permanent classroom presence. And I know that because our 11-year-old Henry graduated or completed, as they say, elementary school in the 5th grade without a permanent classroom teacher for a single day of that last academic year. And look, I bet you Henry's going to be okay. His folks rally around him. The substitute teachers are amazing. But think about that child who really needs that consistent, permanent classroom presence, not only so that they can succeed academically. What about that kid who is losing weight really quickly, and the substitute doesn't notice because she's just come in for the first day of teaching this week. But a permanent classroom teacher might say, hey, we've got to get this kid some help, some calories, some nutrition. Something is wrong right here. Greg Abbott doesn't want that kid to suffer. Does he want the lights to go out and the heat to stop running and the water to freeze up in our pipes because the electricity went out in the energy capital of the world right here in Texas last winter? Probably doesn't want that either. But this is the point I want to make to you. And I hope that you will share this point with those in our lives who may not see things the same way that we do. Whether he wants that or not, he's been the governor of this great state for 8 years. And for whatever reason, he has been unable or unwilling to make the changes necessary to improve our lives and to fix these problems. We don't blame you if you voted for Greg Abbott last time. That might have been a very reasonable decision that you made. But now it is clear that he's failed us and he cannot get the job done. It is time to turn the page and vote for change.